Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Mass Effect 2, where we're going to talk to Mordin and Jacob and then continue on our merry way with some of the side questy stuff. And not just side questy stuff, but some of the dossier and just other stuff.
Shepard, how can I help?
I want to talk about you, my
Have
friend.
you got a minute to talk?
Later, updating crew dental records. All Cerberus personnel have cyanide capsules in molars. Primitive. Ocular nerve flashbangs harder to disarm. Anything else?
No, I think that's about all the information I
I'll
need.
let you
Thank you
work.
very much.
We'll be here if you need me.
Okay, good luck on those ocular explosions. I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like a way to go out with a bang. Jacob. Ooh, we got something.
Sorry, I'm a little unfocused. Personal matter. It won't affect my duties.
Yes, something on your mind?
Always have time for my crew. What is it?
As I said, it's a personal matter. I don't want to waste our time if it turns out to be a goose chase. But... well, I got pinged by a ghost the other night. Family.
A ghost. So is that family member someone you thought was dead, or are they an operative undercover?
Listening.
My private log got an update about the Hugo Gernsback, the ship my father served on. It sent an SOS last week, reporting a crash and requesting a rescue. Shepard, that ship went missing 10 years ago. I hadn't talked to my father for 3 years before that. I've buried everything but a body.
Huh.
I'm not convinced it isn't just some automated distress signal ticking over. It's been too long.
Yeah, but you want to check it
You'd
out.
like us to go take a look at the wreck, see if it's legit.
If the coordinates aren't too far out of our way, I could at least verify the wreck. Who knows, maybe there is actually someone out there. I want to also mention that I don't make a habit of looking for random SOS signals. This was passed to my personal log through Cerberus filters.
So someone at Cerberus wants you to know about this? Possible Cerberus connection.
Any signs that this is a Cerberus front? Who passed this to you?
I doubt the elusive man would let a direct operations stake hold this long. If there's a link, it's probably just about money. Cerberus needs diverse holdings to fund projects like, well, you. And whoever sent this my way covered their tracks. Someone could be fishing for favors, or thought it would get under my skin. Who knows with that bunch?
I don't know. I will say you have a pretty nice butt. We'll just leave it at that. Relationship with father.
You didn't get along with your father?
He made no apologies, I'll give him that. You make a mistake, you own up to it. Even if you keep making it. Whatever problems we had were a lifetime ago. I've had 10 years to get to where I am. And as far as I know, he's still a ghost.
The ship and mission. Yeah, I don't know where this is going.
Tell me about the Hugo Gernsback and what it was doing.
Privately held frigate. I looked over the mission brief when it disappeared. Nothing stood out. Typical research and grab operation. Find an uncharted planet, stake a claim, and establish as large a presence as you can as fast as possible to shut out competitors.
So just private business, it sounds like. Yeah, let's go take a look.
I think we can spare the time. Pass the coordinates to Joker.
I appreciate that, Commander. I don't expect more than dusty old bones, but it'll be good to close the record.
I would be shocked if it's dusty old bones. Travel to Aeia. Okay, so before we actually pick up the next thing, I was about to forget this before he mentioned Joker. I want to go talk to Joker. I'm used to not talking to him, but my friendy Proustian reminded me that...
How you gonna spend your next furlough?
You really think we'll have another shore leave?
Of course. Shepard's forming the best team this galaxy has ever seen. We're gonna kick some ass.
We are.
Right, Matthews.
Yeah, I forgot to talk to Joker, and thanks for Proustian for reminding me.
Hey, Commander. It's, pretty crazy the people you can run into out here, huh? I mean, it was probably a setup or something, but it was still good to see Ash. Operations Chief Williams, wasn't it?
It was. We're still friends, barely. I mean, I also, it didn't go well, but we are still, like, she didn't try to kill me on the spot or anything.
She moved on. I can't blame her.
She was frontline with you blowing up half the Citadel, and I'm the one who gets roped back into saving the galaxy? What, did somebody switch our files?
You're the force that pulls it all together, Joker.
Yeah, it sucks, I'll give you that.
How is the cockpit looking?
I assume everything's going well up here?
We're just having an argument over personalization of my workspace.
Cerberus regulations are clear, Mr. Moreau. personalization does not include grease on my bridge cameras.
It's just mad that all its footage of me looks like a dream sequence.
Does she have a... I was going to say, does Edie have a preferred pronoun? I don't know.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Yes, Shepard.
Let's talk about you.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
I think I've done all this before, but let me just check your name.
Why are you named Edie?
EDI is the phonetic pronunciation of EDI. That is an acronym for Enhanced Defense Intelligence.
Okay.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
So what do I want to do now? I think I want to, like I said, I think I want to prioritize what I expect to be the loyalty quests. So Jacob or Miranda. Now, I run a strict policy of first come, first serve, except when I feel like it. So we'll go with Miranda first. Miranda's estranged father is trying to take back her sister Oriana. Miranda needs to go to Ilium and get her sister off-world safely.
I saw the reports on Horizon, Commander. What you did was amazing.
I'm quite something.
The report mentioned that Ashley Williams was there. How did that go?
It went pretty bad. Where's the option to say bad? I miss her, it went well, and fine. How about, these are all lies. This is only sort of a lie. But there's no, it's weird that I can't say anything else. I'll just say fine, because it feels like fine is probably the best middle ground.
There's not much to say. The past is the past.
I understand. Anyway, how may I help you, Commander?
How's the crew?
Is there anything I should know?
Nothing right now. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
I'll be here if you need.
Okay. Just checking in case there were any new messages. Nothing new, and let's go on. Oh, you know what? I forgot that we've only begun to explore this area. I guess I don't know. I didn't know, I forgot, or did they just shuffle me to Horizon directly? Maybe that's why I missed these other planets. I must have, yeah, okay. Let's take a look at this place first. Watchmen. Horizon and Watchmen. I don't know what these planet names have in common. Perched on the outer edge of Iera's small solar system, Watchmen is a mid-sized rock and ice planet that has picked up a dozen moon-sized objects. Its nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere is too thin to support life, with solid ice covering its calcium-heavy rocky core. Footprints of the first surveying teams to come to the planet can still be seen on its practically airless surface. The planet, devoid of valuable resources, has seen few visitors since. Okay. I don't think I even explored Horizon in that way, did I? No, I guess not. I can't scan it. Horizon is a temperate world that has hit the sweet spot for carbon-based life. It has a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere. Is that what Earth has? A nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere? Like, I'm trying to think of what defines an atmosphere, because there's other, like, molecules in the... There's other gases and stuff in our atmosphere, right? So what defines whether it's nitrogen, oxygen? Is it just if more than 50% of it is based off of nitrogen and oxygen, or... I don't really understand. I don't know. Maintained by abundant indigenous photosynthetic plants and bacteria. While the native plants are not very palatable to humans, the soil conditions are such that a handful of introduced Earth species have flourished, and the colonists must take strict care to prevent ecological disasters. Genetically engineered Terminator seeds that grow nutritious but sterile crops to minimize outbreaks are the rule rather than the exception. Let me read that again. Genetically engineered Terminator seeds that grow nutritious but sterile crops to minimize outbreaks. So they make crops that's got to be a lot of work. Crops that don't, like, seed the next generation. Wow. Animals on Horizon appear to be exploding in diversity. I'm glad they added in diversity. Similar to Earth's Cambrian period. Large flying insect analogs take advantage of the thicker-than-Earth atmosphere and low gravity to grow enormous. Microbial life has proven relatively benign. A series of vaccinations for the most virulent strains of soil-borne diseases is all that's required for a visit. So this looks like a great place, aside from the collectors. And then we got two more. Got this big one right next to the star, and this red nugget. Prospect. Prospect is so we got Prospect, Horizon, Watchman. I don't know. Prospect is a hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant with 13 known moons, most of which seem to have dense heavy metal deposits on first scan, starting a resource rush by the colonists from nearby Horizon. In a tragic turn of events, a galactic uranium surplus drove half the mining firms out of business, and the surfaces of some moons are littered with the bodies of executives who committed suicide by airlock. That sounds like an intensely painful way to die. Today's mining corporations have reached a much more palatable equilibrium and hold more diversified and sustainable portfolios. Prospect is within the frost line of its solar system, where ice giants do not normally form. For this reason, it is believed to have been an extrasolar capture. I love extrasolar captures. And we got the green marble of Venture. A pressure cooker of a planet, Venture's thick nitrogen-based atmosphere. These almost sound like... The planet names here almost sound like old Western names. Like the names of like frontier towns in the old American West, where they'd have names like Contention and Prosperity and stuff like that. A pressure cooker of a planet, Venture's thick nitrogen-based atmosphere is also the source of wealth for a small colonist industry. While Venture's high temperatures are brutal, how high are the temperatures? 398 degrees Celsius, yeah. The primordial soup is not as acidic as on other hothouse planets, and xenon can be readily collected and isolated from the lower troposphere by recovery bots. This xenon is then sold for use in ion drives and some electric lights. Venture's gravity is relatively low for a planet of its size, making the recovery more economical than would otherwise be expected. Alright, we're out of probes and out of richness for this place. Let's move on. What, is there anything else in this? Yeah, no, this is just kind of its own place. Alright, mass relay. This was the Shadow Sea. Again, it's weird to me that you could get that the game would have a solar system or have a nebula with only one solar system accessible. Anyway, let's see, where are we heading? We're heading to help Miranda in the Crescent Nebula. You know what? I might back out of this because this has a lot of stuff going on in it. I might want to go back to that later and do some of the smaller stuff along the way. Let's do Help Jacob, actually. In the Rosetta Nebula. Alright, Enoch. How many places are here? Enoch, Phi Cleo, and Alpha Draconis. So we got some Greek conventions here. I don't know what Enoch means, though, or what Enoch is a reference to. First, let's fuel up. We're all fueled up, but let's probe up. And let's go help Jacob. In Alpha Draconis. That's Alpha of the Dragon. Only 2 planets here. So we'll start with Unexplored, with a little orange nugget, 2175 AR2. Still formerly unnamed, this planet is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with 21 moon-sized objects. Poor. Okay, we'll leave you alone. We only care about the wealthy. And then 2175 Aeia. Named after an Asari scientist, this remote planet appears to have been on the list of forbidden mass relays that led to uncharted space. The little data available comes from one far-off probe flyby that reports 2 planets orbiting a white dwarf star. Your own scans yield far more interesting results. The planet is within the habitable zone of the star. It has oceans of liquid water and a thin nitrogen and oxygen atmosphere consistent with carbon-based plant life. It is possible that this is an as-yet unexplored garden world. Wow. That's really lucky that we just came across this, and I'm expecting horrifying things to be living here.
Impact and unscheduled suborbital deceleration recorded. General distress. MSV Hugo Gernsback. Registration BW4610034087. Impact and unscheduled suborbital deceleration recorded. General distress. MSV Hugo Gernsback. Registration BW4610034087.
I just want to hear that again.
Unscheduled suborbital deceleration recorded.
Unscheduled suborbital deceleration recorded, so they were in orbit and just started slowing down?
General distress.
Huh. First, let me get some of that sweet U0.
Something on our sensors.
Oh, I guess not. Okay, let's land. Yeah, this is a very Land Before Time feel already.
I have run a scan of the ship. I detect no life signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
Okay. Planets and locations.
Humans
Aeia.
detected Aeia as an
Aeia.
Earth-type world via telemetry in 2165. After probe surveys indicated life, lush vegetation, ample fresh water, and breathable air, the Alliance upgraded the planet to a garden world colonization priority. Commanded by Captain Ronald Taylor, the crew of Alliance survey vessel Hugo Gernsback made planetfall on the jungle world in 2173. Soon after, ship transmissions inexplicably stopped. While the precise fate of the Hugo Gernsback command and crew is unknown, they are presumed killed in action and their vessel destroyed.
So this was only about 10 years ago that they were investigating a place for potentially for a potential Earth-type world, and the Alliance never followed up? That's really surprising. I guess they've had other stuff, and it seems pretty far away, but still. Okay. So let's see where we... Yeah, let's just start looking around, I guess. Hopefully we don't get eaten by a dinosaur. So that's the Hugo Gernsback. That is a large ship. Like a very large ship.
And mostly intact. They could have survived impact, but it's been years.
Look for survivors. Okay.
Looks like it was stripped after the crash. They'd have tried to get a beacon up as soon as possible.
Interesting. It doesn't... Oh, I was going to say it doesn't let me shoot, like, because it pulls the gun back when I pointed at the beacon. Interesting. Got some salvage. Partial officer's log.
Along with this anymore. We've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as...
Wait, what?
Along with this anymore. We've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as...
So, some of the survivors of the crash were torturing members of the crew? Like, the officers were torturing members of the crew or something like that? And it was messing with their minds so much that they lost connection with reality, it sounded like. Like they...
Repeat, toxology alert. Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible with human physiology. Override. Beacon resumed. Pause time, 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as record deleted by acting captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Acting captain, they said. Ronald Taylor was promoted under emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food neural decay, beacon activation protocols. I think there was supposed to be voice acting there, and it just bugged out for a second, maybe. Yeah, let's ask about the neural decay first. That's what I'm nervous about, being, on the planet myself.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora, regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
So they might have been here just kind of having their own little memento experience, just repeating time over and over and not knowing, being like little goldfish. Unsafe deceleration.
I assume unsafe deceleration refers to the crash. Give me the details.
Following an unspecified impact and sublight drive failure, the Hugo Gernsback made an unscheduled descent at 465% of theoretical recommended suborbital velocity.
Yeah, they crashed.
The Hugo Gernsback then decelerated at 782% of theoretical recommended approach velocity, sustaining significant damage to investment and crew.
And the crew? I mean, the investment is the worst part, though. Emergency command protocols.
Who is in command of this ship? Where are the survivors?
Captain Harris Fairchild reported killed following unscheduled suborbital descent. First Officer Ronald Taylor promoted in-field to acting captain.
But where is he now?
The location of the remaining crew of the Hugo Gernsback is unknown. This beacon has been unattended for several maintenance cycles.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours. Following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsback. Activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
So it sounds like it was intentional, like he wanted us to, like he'd wanted people to not come here for a while.
Come on, let's get going.
Let's check the ship. My father had the beacon for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
For a decade seems unlikely.
That's true. Why now? Unless it was like he saw everyone around him go, and so like he decided, you know what, let me just soft euthanasia myself.
You came from the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What's your name and rank? She probably doesn't remember anything about a rank. Calm down.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue will come.
Kill them! Agents of the liar! He will not escape!
Enemies!
Agents of the liar. Oh, shit. Battery low. Let me just plug this in. There we go. Oh, you know what? These guys are better with a handgun. Okay. Oh no, that's Jacob. Sorry, my bad, friend. Feral Hunter.
Enemy down.
Is the Feral Hunter
That wasn't
dead?
neural decay. They were feral.
Our father wouldn't let this go on. Something is very wrong.
This is weird. This is definitely weird. It's got to have to do with them having lost their memories. Can we get on the ship? I don't think we can. I think it's telling us to go this way, right? Yeah. Stripped mech.
Strip for parts. Tech's wearing out. Those hunters must be laying on the pressure.
This is... I don't...
Is that a settlement? They'd better be friendlier than the beach group. I need answers.
Yeah, this is... I still don't know what to make of this or where this is going. I have a feeling we're going to meet his father and it's not going to be a great experience.
They're clearly docile, but in the same uniform remnants as those who attacked us.
They're all female?
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently? Makes males get violent.
Possibly. But the woman on the beach said the exiled ones came back as hunters.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
He forced us to eat.
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop.
So maybe it's because there was something so horrifying that as a mercy he tried to make them forget?
Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't talk to you. I don't want punishing.
Who's going to punish you, though? Are you... Because I'm still a bit confused about what's going on here. I mean, I'm very confused, but I'm confused about the mechanics. So it sounds like there's this docile group of people, and then there's feral hunters, and I don't know... And it's because the father made them eat the toxic food. I'm guessing that the father was in charge of these people, but I don't know what relationship the father has to the feral hunters.
He has a cruel face. His cruel face.
Go away. You are like him. You will keep us here.
Okay, so you do want to leave. That's good.
He keeps us, protects us, and we please him like he demands.
Well, that's as ominous as hell. I'm really hoping that's not going where I think it's going, with an all-female group that pleases him as he demands, but we'll see.
The hunters will kill you. They fight because he exiled them and waited too long.
He exiled them, so so maybe he... Alright, so let's take this in the worst possible case scenario. Let's say that Jacob's father is an utter monster. He could have exiled the men, made them go and they went feral from eating local food and being pissed that they weren't in safety, or that they didn't have women around them. That's the worst case scenario I could think of, that he was like, let me take advantage of this situation and make my own little like harem here.
What the hell? Somebody had to push them to make that. That's borderline worship.
So what are they worshiping? It looks like a person with his arms outstretched. And they're saying he won't let them go back. And nothing about Jacob, he didn't say a lot about his father, but I would be surprised if he's such a monster.
Weapons are forbidden.
Wait, what? Hold on, who's... Okay.
Gravity's one mean mother, huh?
System failing. Weapons are forbidden.
Patrols like that are a little much against this bunch.
Well, that would make them hate him. But maybe it was just for defense.
I don't think it was just for defense. I think it was his own little enforcement crew that he's got going. That's where signs are pointing, at least. It could be a twist coming, but that's where signs are pointing, is that Jacob's dad is an utter horrifying tyrant. But again, that would be...
Here, you could end it.
What do you want me to end?
You have his face, but you fight his machines.
Ah.
You might stop this. This, I forget how to read, but this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. The rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on them.
Harsh but defendable. I mean, it doesn't sound defensible. Unless he and the other officers had some... I mean, I could see how, even if he's not the worst person in history, how he could defend this. They could say, someone had to help keep making these decisions. If we all equally ate this and equally decayed, then we would have no hope of survival. But maybe this way we'll have a hope of, as long as some of us keep our full faculties, then maybe we'll be able to get out of here. But it sounds like they've decided, the fact that it doesn't explain 10 years. Like, this is a long time for him to not summon help, unless he was only just now able to get the beacon up and running.
The beacon was fixed after a year, so the...
Yeah, that's the thing.
Why no signal?
Those weren't the last entries on the casualty list. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead. They separated out the women, assigned them to officers like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, despite all my trying to find the best possible outcome to this, it sounds like he's just an awful monster. Treating neural decay.
Anything in there about whether the effects of the toxic food can be treated?
Nothing. But it seems like the right call. If everyone gets it, who's left to fix the beacon? You'd never get out. But they did fix it. And the signal wasn't sent until now. I'm starting to see why.
Why wasn't it sent until now? I get why the signal wasn't sent. Like, let's say that he was just trying to create, like, screw it, I'll just live with my sexual assault victims here, me and the other officers. But why, if that's the case, why send up a signal now? Why send up a signal at all?
Does it say why he separated the men and women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard? I don't see any justification.
We haven't seen any other officers. He killed them?
There were 5 after the crash. Medical, engineering, bridge staff. Should have had no problem fixing the beacon and keeping people safe. All killed within the same week. About a month after the beacon was repaired.
Yeah, so why did he signal now?
Why call for help now?
The surviving males are changing. Everything he did is coming back to bite him in the ass. 9 years. Why didn't he set it right? I need to find this man.
I see. So he exiled them. He was living in this place he constructed, and then the people he exiled started coming back to attack him. And that's why he signaled for help. Oh my god, if that's the case, boy, is this guy going to get a face full of guns. Inactive mech set to explode. Oh, okay. Dreidel phone, needle, needle. Dreidel phone, phone. Dreidel, dreidel. Other, other. Oh, shit. Run! Oh, okay. I thought they were like walking really slowly. You're not fooling anyone.
God damn it, it's really him. Just got free. He's covering his ass.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The old corpse has been posed, like a warning. The new ones were left where they fell.
The hunters started fighting back.
This is not the happiest family reunion. Oh, right, I have other things I can do. I keep forgetting about other abilities. So I want to use drone regularly and Inferno Grenade regularly. How do I...
Backup systems engaged.
Oh, poor boy, are you okay?
He had plenty of choices. Too late to blame the victims.
Shields have failed.
Requesting assistance.
Jacob?
Engaged.
Oh, shit. Where are they? Oh, hello. Also, the Inferno Grenade seems to have a much shorter range than I was assuming at first. Heavy pistol scan, where's that? That sounds really good.
Oh, it's this.
More heavy pistol damage, perfect. Okay. Yeah, things are not looking great for Team Jacob.
I've lost shields.
Get down, get down, get down. Yeah, that's too far. That's a shorter range attack. And boop.
Nice.
Thank you. You're not going to thank God much longer when we get there.
He had his fun, and now he wants out. Son of a bitch.
I'm sure he's going to have an explanation. I really can't think of anything that will justify what he did. Like, I'm really having a hard time trying to think of literally anything. But I have no doubt he's going to make an effort. Let's see what you got. All right. Quick,
incoming.
Yep. Oh, and these are mechs. Let me switch to Overload for... Where's Overload? AI hacking. All right, let's hack you. And let's switch Inferno Grenade to... Because we're going to get a bunch of mechs here. Where's Overload again? Oh, Overload's already R1. Yeah, these abilities are fun when I remember to use them. Oh, shit.
Excuse me. Backup systems engaged.
Okay. We're not coming to rescue you.
Throwing people away. This thing is not my father.
I mean, I guess it was like a Lord of the Flies situation, like having... He was a first officer, maybe all of a sudden having power went to his head really badly.
Watch for the drop.
Catch. Oh shit! No, no, no! Get away! Get away! Get away! Let's hack you. Loki mech? Or, oh wait, oh shit! I didn't even see that I was getting peppered with gunfire. Let's try that again. Okay, let's hide behind here, the fragile crate. Nothing can go wrong there. Boop! And now let's hack you. Or maybe we can't hack it? I guess we can't hack that. Or maybe I was too far away last time? Yeah, it certainly feels like I'm too far away.
I've lost shields.
Shit. Yeah, run, 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 run. Whoa! You're not allowed to send drones my way. Alright, hold on. Shields, shields, shields. Alright, shields good, 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 good. Yeah, we're gonna try to get some distance here. Alright, shields are weak against locusts, right? Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, now armor. What's weak against armor? Yeah. So this. Or what's effective against armor, so it's that. Nice.
It's gonna blow!
You need to heal my...
Toys. I need to look my father in the eye and hear him justify this.
Did I need to use... Did I need to use it there? Did I need to use the metagel, or after combat does a downed party member return even if I don't use metagel? I feel like that's the latter is the case. Anything else here? PDA. Where's the PDA? Oh, okay. Are you... Yeah, I think this is Dad. What else we got here? Ronald Taylor.
You're here. I knew a real squad would blow through just fine. Sorry if the mech scuffed your pads. I'll get you something nice when we get back to Alliance space. I've got to have some back pay coming.
What about your crew, acting captain?
Total loss.
Wait, did you not notice Jacob there?
Turned them wild. They propped me up here in some kind of ritual behavior. Waiting for a chance to signal has been hell.
I'll bet.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
Are you... Do you not recognize Jacob? You... Like, it's weird that you haven't mentioned that, holy shit, it's my son.
Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I believe you are acquainted with Mr. Taylor.
Taylor? Jacob? No. Not Jacob.
Why not me? Would 10 years of this look better to anyone else in the galaxy?
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that. I made sure you were taught right. Before I left, I hoped to leave it at that.
Touching, but I don't buy
I'm
it.
not biting, Captain. At some point, you chose to do this to your crew. You.
What was that moment? I want to know that there was an actual reason.
There was resistance to the plan. Mutiny. We had
Who's
to take
that?
a hard line to keep order. And things settled down. As the decay set in, we made sure the crew were comfortable. Some even seemed happier. Ignorance is bliss, right? And they were grateful for guidance, like an instinct. Pure authority was easy, at first. Months in, the effect lowered inhibitions. They got territorial. Rank, protocol, they couldn't understand. We had to establish dominance. After a while, the perks seemed normal.
The perks.
That's it? You created a harem and played king? 10 years in a juvenile fantasy?
I can't point to where it all went wrong. But when the beacon was ready, revealing what happened didn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, you get the chance to commit a decade of sexual assault, and you just got to take it. Was that right, Ronald? That's what he's saying, I guess. It just snowballed. Other officers.
What happened to the other officers?
Anders found his conscience a little late to step back. He had an accident. Things got tense. End of the day, I was the one with the mechs. I got a little basic in setting examples. But I was kind to my people once things settled down. Seemed like I'd earned some peace.
You fought over people like they were toys. Things.
We can undo the damage. No, we can't. Not the damage you've done. Time and food reserves.
The stores from the ship couldn't last forever. You had to know this would end one day.
Dining for one can really stretch things out. Besides, I can think of a lot worse retirement plans than stripping down and joining the droolers. That was before the hunters, of course. Dumb or not, I'd feel it if they got their hands on me now. They want blood. I'd prefer to keep it.
It's all about you. Everything.
Your son and time apart.
You didn't feel any responsibility to get out of here for the sake of family?
I gave him a good start. He was a smart kid and was better off not following me. We figured that out a long time before I took jobs in deep space. And after things escalated here, it seemed best to just disappear off the galactic map.
Till you needed someone to save your ass.
It's weird because I kind of couldn't possibly care less about him not contacting his son. It's like hearing that someone committed mass murder and then like hearing them apologize for like, yeah, I am sorry that in the years leading up to the mass murder I wasn't in contact with you as much. Like the not being in contact is not an issue in comparison. Hunters.
What triggered the males to change and threaten you?
This planet has some strange cycles to it. I've seen some plants around I never saw before. Odd weather. Maybe some just adapted a little too well.
And if you treat them like animals, big shock. They become animals.
You'll answer for this tempting but taken too far? We can undo the damage. No, you'll answer for this.
There's no way I'm letting this slide, Taylor. The price will be paid.
How much? What kind of math can balance these lives? His life isn't worth pulling the damn trigger. I don't know who you are, because you're not any father I remember.
I'd shoot him, leave him in the hell he made. He can't escape the law now. Here's the thing. I would be inclined to leave him in the hell he made, but I'm not convinced that he's going to survive, that he's not going to... Well, on the other hand, the hunters have him right here. Are we really going to... I mean, we're Cerberus, though. Are we really going to send him to an Alliance prison? We've seen how much the prisons suck, but... No, I think we got to go with... We still got to go with that option. You can't, rather than the shooting him option.
We'll secure him for an Alliance court. For every year here, he'll have 10 to think about it.
Give him all the time in the galaxy. The man who did this doesn't know right from wrong.
I agree with you.
Jacob. I did the best I could.
No, you did
I'm
not.
10 years past believing that.
Yeah. And part of it is, the hunters have had a rough enough time. You don't want to put a murder on their conscience, like, when you don't have to. Like, so, I don't know. Oh, Jacob got a new outfit. Level up. Survivors from Aeia are being treated by Alliance personnel with additional Cerberus support. Pleased to see Taylor unharmed psychologically by experience. Oh, Jacob Taylor. Jacob's dealt with his father. The father's now focused solely on the mission. New power creates a shield. Okay, a barrier. Right, okay. New outfit, heavy pistol damage upgrade. Okay. Well, that was a fun, lighthearted session. Trophy earned, Ghost of the Father.
Alliance ships are inbound to secure Captain Taylor and his crew, Commander. We'll be long gone by the time they get here.
Don't even give them the tail lights.
Roger that.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Jacob, if I had leaked the information about the Gernsback, I would be smiling at your resolution of the situation. I am not smiling.
Huh. So someone else got him... I mean, I'm not... So he knew about it. Yeah, but you knew about it.
Nothing goes through this ship, my ship, without a report to you.
I had no more reason to believe Jacob's father was alive than he did. But I'm happy to know the situation is behind you.
Fine. You didn't forward it. So who did?
I did.
You did. The elusive man's gonna kill you.
Figures. Who else could get into Cerberus channels?
Wasn't obvious to me.
It was hardly classified, just obscure. There was a time when it mattered to you. Sending this along seemed like keeping an old promise. I keep my promises.
Miranda, we'll discuss your liberal interpretation of security protocol.
Yeah, seriously.
Shepard, Jacob.
I mean, I'm glad she did. Like, I think it was definitely to help him, but...
You good with this, Jacob?
It's all bull, Shepard. Captain Taylor can rot in prison. Doesn't change who I am or what I know. I've already mourned the man he used to be. I guess he was a good enough father that even he can't screw up what he taught me.
It's a good way to look at it.
You had no idea Miranda was behind this.
No, she's got a good memory. Selective, but good. I haven't thought about those days in a long time. Can't figure which promise she meant, though. Not sure I really want to know. She requires a better man than I.
I wasn't even thinking about it romantically, but wow, it just didn't click for me at all until just now. Okay.
Come on, we got work to do.
I could see it.
Aye, Commander. Shepard, thanks for the help.
Anytime, Jacob.
Okay. Well, that was a thing. I'm going to call it here. Thank you for watching. Next time, we will do something that is hopefully less horrifying. See you later. Bye-bye.